Hello everyone. We will be talking about a very small video today for finance management in education per se. So meaning of education in finance, education finance. It is nothing but the provisions of education across various levels necessary for human and national development. There is a consistent need for providing funds to continuously train our citizenship who will spearhead the mixing of resources to achieve scientific and technological development. The funding of education is expected to equip these people with the requisite knowledge, skills, and capacity to enhance their quality of life and increase productivity, as well as capacity to gain knowledge, techniques of production so as to be able to participate proactively in the development process. So, what are we looking? We are likely to train the whole gamut of our citizens, whole gamut of the people, so that it makes us an effective, sensitive, corrective, and knowledgeable citizen of what is expected to do, what is the right thing to do, and probably spearhead our nations to overall prosperity thereby. Financial management is the process of strategically planning, organizing, directing, controlling, monitoring of financial resources with an aim of achieving goals and objectives of an organization or an institute. In education institution, financial management refers to that of management activity that is considered with the decisions on how to procure funds. Of an organization, financial resources disburses and give account of funds provided for the implementation of educational programs. Very important. The purpose. Allow me to give you the purpose of the financial management. Remember, the model for purpose of financial management in education is to raise funds and ensuring that the funds are not only mobilized, but the mobilized funds are utilized in a proper fashion, in the most effective fashion, so that the last dollars has travels to the last mile. You extract the best that can be done from the funds. A second purpose of financial management in educational institute is to assist the managers, the protractors, the administrators in keeping a record of the student stewardships in the financial matters for the benefit of the government, for the benefit of the governing council, for the benefit of the institution. In short, that is the very reasons for financial management. Yes, we need to mobilize funds. Yes, we need to spend it effectively. Yes, we need to keep a track of the spending. Yes, we need to be transparent in our operation. So, scope of an education finance concepts like interest payments, interest amount, payment vouchers, authority to incur expenditure, bank statement, cash management, and financial control should be explicitly made available to the governing council, to the management of the education, also to the government for taxation purposes, for budget preparation and allocation, classification of the government expenditure, types of cost analysis, current versus capital cost, recurrent and capital expenditures. Role of government and non-government agencies in the funding of the education per se. The sources of fund and the problems of finding education programs all together. You need to understand all together. So yes, we're talking about taxation, budgets, classification of expenditure, the types of cost analysis that comes around it. We might be talking about capex, opex. Capex is capital expenses, opex is operating expenses, the recurrent expenses, the role of the government, the non-government, the sources of fund, the utilization of fund. You need to keep track of every transaction that comes around it. Remember the procurement and the raising of the funds. Where are you getting the funds from? Is it a government grant that is coming around? Is somebody is giving a subsidy altogether? Is it being generated by the participants all together by themselves? The allocation of financial resources to different institutions needs to be moderated. Effective utilization should be the objective and should be ensured that the funds are not only effectively and efficiently utilized. Supervision of cash receipts. cash payments, all documents of all transaction needs to be documented, needs to be noted down, because this will help us to understand where what are we doing right and what are the wasteful activity. So yes, we are talking about the safeguarding of the cash balance also. Reason why prospective educational administrator, policymakers, practitioner needs to be interested in education. The first reason is that the study of education finances would enable them to understand and be conversant with the financial technologies, concepts and principles. The knowledge of education and finances would enable practitioners such as the vice chancellors of university, the provost of colleges and education, or principals of secondary schools when appointed to keep a proper record of their stewardships as on when on basis per se. The knowledge of education finances helps to provide proper and adequate information to accounting officers like the vice chancellors of university, the rectors of polytechnic, the provost of the colleges of education on when to apply for grant, when capital projects to embark upon or discontinue, when to seek financial assurances from individuals, from organizations, not the least, but definitely from the government. Fourthly, the knowledge of education finances would help the education administrators and the practitioner alike to know when to employ a staff, disburse funds, allocate equipment, refurbish dilapidated equipment. Perhaps without the knowledge of education finances, heads of institutions would employ excess staff and resources, probably refurbishes dilapidated equipment as at and when necessary as possible. So let me wind it up. As for the online principles, let me not ignore the online assessment principles too. So education principle, the assessment tasks should form an integral part of the curriculum, both in terms of teaching and learning process. Next is the ethical principle. Assessment tasks and marking criteria should focus the intended outcome of the objectives of the program for the unit. Next, the last one is the regulatory principle. The assessment scheme should provide enough evidence of students for achievement to enable robustness in their decisions to be made about the progressions, thereby the programs and the awards of the intervening academic qualification. And with this, I come to an end of this video. Thank you for watching this video till the end. I'm sure you have understood what education finance is, what are the roles, how important it is, and how can it be curtailed and probably refined in future. Thank you for visiting it.